1 in 10 Singapore teenagers suffers from at least one mental illness, such as a depressive disorder. It's among findings from a nationwide study carried out against the backdrop of the pandemic to understand the mental health and resilience of youths aged 10 to 18.
Mental illness, also called as mental health disorders that affect our mood, thinking and behavior of an individual. In relation to mental illness, stigma is when someone is marked or discredited somehow or reduced from being a whole person to being a stereotype or labeled as a collection of symptoms or a diagnosis. When someone with a mental illness is called dangerous, crazy or incompetent rather than unwell, it is an example of a stigma. As a result, stigma can lead to discrimination, and this in turn can make mental illness even worse.
There are many factors that cause the mental illness stigma. One of them includes lack of understanding of mental illness. Nowadays, some people have a little to no knowledge at all about mental illness. Thus, they tend to assume that mental health problem is not a big issue. This causes the mental health problems to be overlooked by some people in our country. Other than that, some people have negative attitudes or beliefs towards people who have mental illness. In this postmodern era, many believe that mental health issues are just a mild illness and should not be taken seriously. There are even a handful of medical experts who do not take drastic measures in treating mental health patients because they cannot be cured in the near term, making doctors give up on helping them.
Impact of mental illness stigma. Patients will have low self-esteem to recover. It is because they feel that they are alone and powerless to face challenges in life without the help of people around them. Negative comments about them might just contribute to them give up and opt to choosing a shortcut to get away from their problem, like self-harm and suicide. Looked askance by the surrounding community. A stigmatized person may be treated differently and excluded from many things that are taken for granted by the rest of society. Leaving them marginalized causes them to be labeled by their illness and therefore vulnerable to prejudice and discrimination.
There are many ways to break the stigma regarding mental illness. Number 1, we should give emotional supports to the victim instead of berating them. This is important so that those who are struggling with mental health issues do not feel that they will not recover and live a normal life like us. For example, parents should listen to their children when they open up about their problems and accompany them to counseling and therapy sessions so that they do not feel alone during hardships. Number 2, we should call out negative stereotype and misinformation. When negative stereotypes come up in conversation or in the media, we should put ourselves in their shoes so that we can understand their problem and not simply judge them. If everyone starts doing this, we could create a caring and understanding society that are more open-minded towards mental health issues.
Therefore, we as a concerned society should eradicate the stigma of society against mental health patients by helping them as much as possible so that they can recover and live a peaceful life. I would like to quote an expression once spoken by Matt Haig. Mental health problems don't define who you are. They are something you experience. You walk in the rain and you feel the rain, but you are not the rain.